term for a side motor entrance. Sometimes in movies I see an architectural feature of hotels or large houses that have a side motor entrance or drop-off for cars with a roof as shown below. Is there an architectural term for this thing?
There may be other names. The one I am familiar with is porte cochere. Definition of porte cochere Merriam-Webster 1. A passageway through a building or screen wall designed to let vehicles pass from the street to an interior courtyard 2. A roofed structure extending from the entrance of a building over an adjacent driveway and sheltering those getting in or out of vehicles. By way of further confirmation, here is the listing for the pictured property, Ivy Roadhouse, Atlanta, on the designer's website. This distinctive painted brick Atlanta residence was built to maximize its narrow lot by organizing the site with a circular drive that leads to a formal front entry and a porte cochere that leads to a more informal side entrance.
Derived from the French porte cochere mentioned in Spagal's answer, I've mostly commonly heard this termed as the anglicized carport. Carport is defined by Merriam-Webster as an open-sided automobile shelter by the side of a building.
Since the example in the picture appears to have no gate, but is more of an ornamental entrance for cars to enter one or more garages, I might call it an archway. An arched or vaulted passage. OED. My understanding based on searching a few definitions is that a carport is often the final destination of the car, not a mere passageway. Of interest is this article outlining the distinctions between a garage and a carport. The International Residential Code, IRC, and Florida Building Code, FBC, have a very specific way of defining the difference between carport and garage, R309.2 carports. Carports shall be open on at least two sides, carports not open at least two sides shall be considered a garage. Magary and Matson. It is because the example provided is not designed to be a resting place for the car but rather a passageway that I believe archway appropriately describes the architecture. Here's an example use of archway from The Great Gatsby. It was a photograph of half a dozen young men in blazer loafing in an archway through which were visible a host of spires. There was Gatsby, looking a little, not much, younger with a cricket bat in his hand.
Side entrance. Whether or not the pictured structure is a carport or a garage, what it provides that's an important feature is a side entrance to the house. This enables groceries, laundry, and the like to be taken into the house from a side door rather than the main entrance to the house. In a hotel it might be called a drop-off, which allows taxis and other vehicles to drive to a side door underneath a roof and off Main Street, to avoid traffic jams in front of the hotel entrance.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.